Hello, elevated viewers. My name is Oliver. I am a vegan, and my home is on Phillip Island, just off Australia's southern coast. I'm pleased to represent the animals and people of Australia in sending you their kindest regards. Welcome to our program, The Curious Lives of Little Blue Penguins. By the show's title, you've already got a huge hint that my species' name is the Little Blue Penguin. Some shorten the name to Little Penguin. In Australia, some people call us fairy penguins, which I like a lot because it sounds magical. Have you ever wondered if penguins can fly? Our flippers make us well suited for life in the water. In fact, people who have seen us swimming underwater say that it looks similar to birds flying through the air. So the answer to the question is yes, I fly in the water. Try asking a crow to do the same. Many people think that penguins only live in cold places, sliding on their bellies across the snow. However, you can find us little penguins in parts of New Zealand and Australia. Our habitats include rocky coasts, dunes, islands, and forests near the sea. But you may also spot us living close to humans in coastal cities. With our adorable waddle, we little penguins are incredibly cute, if you don't mind me saying so. Like other penguins, our legs are short and our feet are large and wide. The classic waddle is a result of leaning from one side to the other as we lift our feet. We are the world's smallest penguin, standing roughly 33 centimeters tall and weighing a little over 1 kilogram. In spite of our petite size, we can be really loud and have various calls for communicating with each other. Our feathers are not only beautiful, but they're also purposeful. When we're swimming, the dark blue feathers on our back help us to blend into the ocean and thus better hide us from those swimming or flying above us. Similarly, the lighter colored feathers on our belly help us blend in with the sunlight reflecting off the water surface, thus making us less visible to any beings swimming below us. I'm so grateful to God for such a thoughtful and protective color scheme. To help our species flourish, the Creator equipped us with a few other special features. We have webbed feet for swimming, but we also have sharp claws for climbing rocks and digging burrows. Our eyes have flattened corneas, which help us to see as clearly underwater as when we're out of the water. In addition to upper and lower eyelids, each of our eyes has a third and transparent eyelid. These membranes serve as goggles, especially when we're in the water. Also, because we spend a lot of time in salt water, we have unique gland behind and above our eyes that filters out the salt in our blood from the seawater we swallow. We can then secrete the salt as brine by sneezing or releasing it from our nostrils. Being social seabirds, we live in small colonies. Generally, we breed once a year and lay 2 eggs between July and October. However, we sometimes produce more than 1 clutch of eggs in a breeding season, and we are the only penguins that can do so. Birds that mate often remain faithful to each other if the breeding is successful. In addition, we are emotionally attached to our birthplace, so it's common for us to return to the same nest for breeding. Speaking of nests, we males are talented at constructing them in a variety of settings, from small stone caves to burrows in grassy knolls and under logs in dense forests. Aside from being a place to breed, a nest also serves as our refuge when we molt each year. Before we shed our old feathers, we spent a few months at sea eating more than usual to double our body weight. Then, for 2 or 3 weeks, we must stay in our nest and fast while our feathers are being replaced. We cannot swim during this time, so we try to avoid being seen to keep ourselves safe. I'll take a short stroll on the beach and breathe in some fresh sea air. We'll come back soon and then continue our show. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to the Curious Lives of Little Blue Penguins on Supreme Master Television. Since we spend 80% of our lives at sea, our outer feathers are specially designed to be very dense, about 12 feathers per square centimeter, which is 3 or 4 times the density of birds that fly. A gland near the base of our tail produces an oil-like substance that we rub onto every feather while we're preening. This keeps our outer feathers waterproof and reduces friction when going through the water. We also have a layer of down next to our skin that traps air to keep us warm, dry, and buoyant. Most days, we little blue penguins are busy swimming and foraging. During the breeding and chick rearing season, we leave our nest at sunrise, look for food throughout the day, and return to our nest just after dusk. Sometimes in the evening, if you're in the right place, you can see thousands of us emerging from the waves and waddling across the sand to our burrows. Because we are well adapted for the sea, we are not very graceful on land, but we are beautiful swimmers. We can move very fast in the ocean, flapping our flippers up to 5 times a second to fly through the water. Satellite trackings has shown that little blue penguins swim on average between 15 and 50 kilometers a day. That's the equivalent of swimming between 9 and 31 miles. By the way, we are also great divers. We can dive anywhere from 200 to 1,300 times a day. The average depth of a dive ranges from 10 to 30 meters, but the deepest recorded dive was 72 meters, and the longest dive lasted 114 seconds. Isn't that amazing? As part of our lives, we little blue penguins face hardships at sea. However, the threats introduced by humans pose the biggest problem for us. To give you an example, around Phillip Island, we had 10 separate colonies before Europeans started settling here. With the construction of roads, infrastructure, and housing, as well as land clearing, 9 of our colonies disappeared over time. By 1985, the population at our last remaining colony on the Summerland Peninsula was also shrinking due to an established housing estate, unmanaged tourism, and introduced animal species. Fortunately, the state government initiated a long-term project called the Penguin Protection Plan to buy back all of the houses and land within the Summerland Peninsula. The last house was removed in 2010, and the dedicated rangers of Phillip Island Nature Parks have been working to rehabilitate the area for us penguins. They have placed wooden boxes throughout the colony to protect our nests, removed harmful weed species, and replanted native vegetation that is suitable for us. Also, tourism has come under control with limits placed on number of visitors, raised boardwalks, and the latest artificial lighting technology. We penguins are so grateful for all of the efforts to decrease the damaging human impacts to our colony. These endeavors are enabling our colony to have a greater chance of survival. If you'd like to get involved, there are educational programs available so that you can learn more about favorable habitats and protection measures for little blue penguins. I can tell you right now about a few helpful guidelines in case you happen to visit a penguin-sensitive area. 1. Please stay at least 3 meters away from a penguin. 2. When taking photos, make sure the flash is turned off. Penguins' eyes are very sensitive. 3. Please use a red filter on any portable light you may be carrying. 4. Be sure not to obstruct the paths that penguins use to get to their nesting areas. 5. If a penguin needs help, please contact a wildlife ranger or other expert for instructions. 6. If you have an animal companion, please don't bring him or her with you to this penguin-sensitive area. If you can honor these simple requests, you will be helping to keep us safe and comfortable, and all of us little penguins will be so happy to come ashore. When you care for others the way you would like to be cared for, Heaven smiles and blesses you abundantly. I leave you now with much appreciation for your loving kindness. It has been wonderful having your company for our look at the curious lives of little blue penguins. Up next is Buddha Stories, The Bad Karma of Being Unfair, Part 1 of 2, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. May every day bring new blessings to you. For more details, please visit springmastertv.com/AW.